Honorable members of the European Parliament, Excellencies, Ambassadors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the government of Rwanda, I would like to express my appreciation for this opportunity to discuss the ongoing crisis in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo from Rwanda's perspective. For too long, instability in the DRC has threatened regional security with devastating human, political, and economic consequences. Rwanda has nothing to gain from an unstable DRC. On the contrary, our vision for prosperity is tied to regional stability and economic cooperation. In 2021, Rwanda exported $683 million worth of goods to the DRC. In 2022, the DRC was our top export partner, accounting for over 33% of our total export. Why would we jeopardize this? Rwanda's best interest and economic ambitions are better served by peace and no conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move beyond lazy narratives and focus on facts. Rwanda is not the source of this crisis, nor are we responsible for solving it alone. The truth is well documented. The real smuggling networks are known. The real perpetrators are well documented, and yet the scrutiny always falls on Rwanda. Why? Partly because of the finger-pointing strategy we have just heard of this panel, and because acknowledging the truth would require real accountability from those who prefer to shift blame rather than fix a broken mining system. Regarding the MOU signed last year, repeatedly brought up today, let me remind you that it was the European Union that initiated the request to sign an MOU on critical raw materials. We engaged in this agreement in good faith because it aligned with our vision and pre-existing strategies. The demand for these minerals is a shared interest, and we remain committed to partnerships built on mutual benefit and respect. Ladies and gentlemen, the atrocities we're discussing today are horrifying. They demand our full attention, and most importantly, accountability. But accountability must be rooted in facts, not assumptions or false shortcuts. As security forces retreated after the fall of Goma, reports of atrocities surged. Instinct dictates to point fingers outwards rather than look inwards. But the evidence speaks for itself. In 2020, the US Department of State documented that the DRC's own security forces were responsible for arbitrary killings, enforced disappearance, and torture. According to the UN Joint Human Rights Office, since 2019, the Congolese security services have remained the leading human rights perpetrators in DRC. This is not new. This is not accidental. It is a pattern. However, this parliament remains silent on this issue. Just like there was silence when the 2022 Paul Institute reported that the Kinshasa-backed FDLR were responsible for the assassination of Italian ambassador Luca Attanasio in 2021. Just as it remained silent when over 2,000 European mercenaries were illegally hired by Kinshasa to wage war on its own population, in blatant violation of African Union and UN conventions. How long will your silence continue? Ladies and gentlemen, The situation in the DRC is a threat to Rwanda's national security and to the stability of the whole region. Despite calls for a political solution, the DRC government has chosen to pursue a military path, forming a coalition with ethnic militia known as Wazalendo, the FDLR, European mercenary, Burundian forces, and the Sami DRC. This reckless strategy to pursue every possible option except genuine negotiations continues to undermine regional peace efforts and fuel instability. This strategy has failed before, and if sustained, it will fail again. If withdrawing development support could resolve the DRC conflict, it would have worked 12 years ago. Such international responses are ineffective and counterproductive. Worse, they only serve to embolden the DRC's war path. Rwanda is fully committed to contribute to finding a peaceful end to the conflict, not just for our own stability, but for the prosperity of the entire region. We want peace so we can focus on the urgent task of nation building and regional cooperation, including with the DRC. A stable, secure Great Lakes region benefits us all. The only viable path forward is dialogue, as reaffirmed by the recent East Africa Communique SADC Joint Summit. The first time both regional blocs have aligned their vision for a lasting solution. We now have a renewed opportunity to reset the political process and move towards genuine resolution. The outcomes of the regional summit, cessation of hostilities, humanitarian action, and return to direct negotiations must be implemented in good faith. Rwanda has no expansionist agenda. We are not looking to redraw the borders we inherited from colonialism. All we want is credible, long-term peace for the development of our region that is dire needed and deserved. Therefore, Rwanda remains committed to peace, stability, and working with all partners, including the European Union, to find a lasting resolution to this crisis. But peace requires courage, accountability, and rejecting the forces that fuel division and violence. I thank you.